All right, guys, it's that time. It is Rick in, and you are on the YouTube channel. And today we're talking about how to succeed as a new wholesaler step by step in 2023. And actually, you're going to be surprised with this video because I'm going to tell you the truth of how it really works. And I'm going to separate all the hype and all the gurus that tell you, this is it, this is how you do it. It's actually really simple. You know why? Because I'm an absolute expert on it. I've been doing this 21 years, and I'm here to tell you fundamental things that are going to separate you from actually being successful in wholesaling and stuff you have to do on a daily basis, as opposed to all the hype, like, hey, I got to do this, I got to do that. And, you guys always say, hey, Zach, Rick, specifically, what do I need to do to actually make wholesaling work? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're just going to cut all the other crap out and tell you step by step on how to do it. And honestly, it's nothing you haven't heard before, but I'm telling you, it's so simplified. If you do it this way, it'll give you much more clarity. And I find when you get clarity, you can accomplish any goal you want to do. But if you don't have clarity and you're not sure where to go and you're trying 3 million things, that's when you get overwhelmed, you get confused, and you just quit wholesaling. A lot of you think that you have to have this just gobs of money, or my dad's got to load me up with 100 grand or anything like that. AK, just let you know, when Zach started wholesaling, no money. So if you think you have to have a financial war chest, I'm telling you, it doesn't do you any good in wholesaling. And honestly, that's where you start to get knee deep in giving away your family's money to a guru or a coach, because the truth in wholesaling is the most eyeballs are on the newbies. The people that just start out wholesaling, they're the ones the most excited. You sell them the dream. They're having financial challenges. They have a boss they don't like. They have a job they don't like. And honestly, that's most of America. And hey, this guy or gal is going to show me how to do wholesaling. I just got to give them 5 or 10 grand and we're going to get it all figured out. That is just the start of your problems. The money will not solve your problem. And I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. So if you go, hey, I can't do wholesaling, I don't have money. Good. You're perfect. You're in the perfect spot for it. To be honest with you, I find the people that are most successful in wholesaling, they start off broke. I'm one. Zach's one. I've had thousands and thousands and thousands of people on this channel. If you don't believe me, go over to our Facebook group, Wholesaling Houses for Real, and check out all the testimonials. I don't ask for testimonials. They just put it up there because they feel they want to give back. And that's how you know a community is for real. When people just testimony after testimony and they've never asked them for a dime, that's authentic and that's what you want. Most of the people started out with zero money. Now, I've seen a lot of people start in wholesaling and they'll give a coach 5 or 10 grand. And then here's what most coaches do. I'm just going to tell you. They're going to go teach you how to spend money to make leads. But here's the challenging part is you don't know how to talk to people yet. You don't have any experience. And those are going to be the most expensive leads you ever do. So if you spend 10 grand on marketing, 10 grand on a guru, now you're 20K out. Or you do your first deal, you made 10 grand. Your coach is like, yes, you did it. No, you didn't. You're still in the hole. And honestly, you do not have enough experience to talk to people to duplicate that exact success. So the way me and Zach teach is, number one, I don't care if you have money or not. You just got to have an incredible attitude, and you're going to have even a better work ethic. If you can bring me those two things, I'll show you how to progress. Because I'm going to give you such exposure to this business. By the time you get to doing paid leads, you're going to be a master. And you need to be a master when you start paying for leads, because you can't screw them up. They're too expensive. So why not figure out how to make money when you have no money? Because that's how you get the exposure in wholesaling. And that's really the truth. And that's why we have such a high failure ratio on all these courses. They get you so excited, you pay it, you think all your problems are solved, and then you got to find out, oh, I got to spend $3,000 or $5,000 in mail, or I got to do pay per click, or I got to do this campaign and that campaign. I didn't know about this. Oh, and I got to do it for 3 months. And all of a sudden you start spending money, and maybe you have a spouse or a family. I'm like, I don't understand. I thought you were just paying the guy 5 grand. You're good. He goes, no. He or she told me how to do this. And see, you didn't have the education and now you're stuck. And the money just keeps going out and it's hard to even get to the break-even point. I'm not going to teach that strategy because honestly, like 1 in 10 maybe might make it doing it that way. And it's going to take a lot of guts to move forward with that. So here's the reality. So if it's not money in your bank account that truly makes you what you do, remember, the beauty of wholesaling is you minimize risk. You don't completely eliminate, and you maximize your chance to make a huge profit and really get freedom of your time. And that's how you want to do it. If I had to pay cash for every one of the houses I bought, I would have never made it in this business. And I got to be honest, I was living on the edge when I did wholesaling because I was at max capacity. I was corporate job. I had a big mortgage. I thought it was a big mortgage at the time. I had 2 young children. And I just felt hopeless. College education, did everything my parents told me. Dude, didn't work out. It didn't hit. So at 33, I had an epiphany. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. I found wholesaling by complete freaking accident. And honestly, it's probably been the greatest tool ever been put in my life. And that's why I'm so adamant about it. I am not adamant about this to sell you courses or make money. Yes, I do cover our costs with some affiliate stuff we do. I only recommend products that I actually use in my business. I've been doing this 21 years. And honestly, I make my money doing deals. And by the way, I'm going to show you, we do deals with our members here because they love doing deals. And why not? So if it's not money in your bank account, back to this, it's work in your effort that actually gets the deals. That's the secret. See, so many people try to tell you, if you pay me, I'm going to show you the secret. Here's the secret, guys. This is the secret. This is every secret. If Guru just put this on the front of every one of their panels, which I do. I tell you from day one, if you don't believe me, go over to freewholesaling.com on it because I'm going to smack you in the mouth and say, you are going to have to bust your butt. Your effort's going to have to be so ginormous and you're going to have to discipline yourself to get this done. It's going to be painful. It's going to be wildly uncomfortable. But if you can get through it, there's so much on the other side for you. The question is, do you want to get to the... Everybody wants to get to the other side. The question is, do you have the work effort and are you going to put in the hard work to get to that other side? Listen, if you guys ever work out, if you stretch, if you run, you lift weights, let's face it, I'm not a big fan of doing it. I don't enjoy the physical activity. It hurts. I sweat. I got to take time out of my day. I got to wake up early. I got to stay up late. I got to eat better. I got to hydrate. In the moment, it's not fun, but I know that discipline will get me the end result I want. So here's the key is, if this sounds a little uncomfortable for you, it's the truth. That's why. But that uncomfortable will make you so comfortable down the road, it's worth it. You got to ask yourself, do you just want to be comfortable and stay in your normal life right now and knowing it's just going to be the same every day and the odds of it changing are slim to none, or you feel like you have no power of it? Or are you willing to get uncomfortable, somewhat wildly uncomfortable? You're not physically being stretched. I'm not making you lift 500 pounds, but I'm going to make you change the way you operate. And you are going to do actions you've never done before. It's going to feel odd. It's going to feel weird. But if you can focus at that end result, the payoff is huge because then you have an abundance mindset. You don't have to depend on anybody else. You're in control. You can do what you want. Heck, if you want to come over to Miami and hang out on Miami Beach, I can run my business from anywhere in the world. And I know that for a fact because I've been doing this 21 years. So I'm one of these people that actually has walked the walk. I've had the experience. I've done this. I've done it locally. I've done it virtually. I do it all over the country with you guys. And this is why we're at this point right now. So moving on. The secret to successful wholesalers is always the output. There is no secret. There is no hack. There's no tiny little AI piece of software I'm going to sell you that's going to solve all your problems. Guys, I've heard this crap for over 20 years. When you hear the word secret in wholesaling, get out of the room because there's no such thing as a secret. That's the secret. Why? I've tried to buy, I've tried to use, I've tried to manipulate every secret, every hack. And I'm here to tell you, even if it's a secret, it will close so fast because the gurus will sell every secret. It won't last for long. And occasionally you get a slight competitive advantage, but for the most part, that secret actually becomes your Achilles heel, meaning it's not going to work. And then you're going to try to push it and it won't work. So what am I telling you? Stop trying to buy it. If you hear the word secret or I've got a super secret to do it, it's BS. It doesn't work. The secret is I'm going to part you with your money and I'm going to give you the secret and then I'm just going to make you feel real good for the next few months. And then I'm going to move on and find 10 to 20,000 other people that are going to like fall for what you did. And that's honestly, I could do 4 hours on this topic alone. I've seen honestly thousands and thousands of marketing tips, marketing strategies in wholesaling, and every one of them that have a paid program, they all try to, I have this secret new method. And then they usually do a fancy little acronym with it. And then they go, hey, let me show you how to do it. And by the time you buy it, get it, implement it, it's probably already being legislated out. I could go down the list in the last year of all the ones that have come up in wholesaling. It's absolutely ludicrous. And 9 times out of 10, even if it is a secret strategy, as a brand new wholesaler, You don't have the skill set to have the conversation. You don't understand what's going on. And often you can get in legal and huge trouble by trying these strategies. There's a lot of them going out right now where you basically put a property under contract. They call it a fake contract. Because that's what it is. And then they teach you to go out and how to sell it full price as a realtor. And honestly, if you're going to do that strategy, I'm not even going to mention the word because I don't want you to look it up. That's called being a realtor. Go get your realtor's license. I don't teach that stuff. I could show you over and over again. So what I'm telling you is if you hear the word secret, or I got a strategy, nobody else has used it, and I want to sell it to you, run, guys. There's no secrets in wholesaling. It's been around a long time, long before I did it, and it'll be here long after I stop. I'm never going to stop doing it, but when I'm done doing it, it is. You see, here's the secret. Every guru, every coach learned it from somebody else. But the latest trend today is, let me take an old strategy and repackage the marketing name on it and say I invented it on my own. It has been plagued in the last 10 years. Horrid. I see these words and phrases. I'm like, I know exactly what they're doing. And it's, why are we doing it? Listen, if you buy a property subject to's been around forever. It's not invented. It's not trademarked. I'm here to tell you it's been around forever. Banks have known about it. Sellers, buyers have known about it. Is it more mainstream now? Absolutely. Creative financings have been around forever. Lease options have been around forever. A novation, that's just a legal strategy. It's not something that was invented. And so when somebody remarkets, somebody comes out with a brand new name, there's nothing new in wholesaling. It's the exact same. You see, a lot of people will tell you wholesaling is illegal across this country. And yes, there are some very few challenging states. For the most part, wholesaling is 100% legal across this country. So one of the latest trends you'll find out too is, watch out, it's illegal. The only reason they're telling you is, number one, they get eyeballs on it, which I even watch it because I want to see, what they're saying is. But the reality is they'll very rarely show you the state statute in the bill. And 9 times the bill's written so poorly, it's just there to discourage you and promote realtors through NAR, which is National Association of Realtors. There's no way to enforce it. So a lot of times it hinges on advertising, stuff like that. But here's what you need to do. Stop taking people's word for it and just read the bill yourself. It's simple. All of these statutes are online and you can easily look them up. You can see who sponsored it. You can see when it was signed. And we got to stop doing what the rest of the media does, is just take everyone's word for it. So the scare tactics, one of the big ones that you got, when someone's trying to scare you with something in real estate, I promise you, there's a solution they're going to try to sell you on the back end. Every time. Now, if the solution actually fixes it, I'm fine with it. But the reality is you need to know all your options if you want to do it. And one of the options is becoming a licensed realtor to fix the problem. You're only getting half the story there. And that's my challenge with it. If you want to do that, then that's fine, but just become educated, because getting a real estate license has a certain obligations and things that you have to follow. You also get an additional boss. You get oversight, and no matter, even if someone complains and you did nothing wrong, you have to answer to it, and you got to involve your broker, and it can get messy. But the real challenge of becoming a licensed realtor, other than trying to beat some statutes in certain states, is they're training you to be a realtor. And guess what? They trick a lot of people to switch teams from wholesaler to realtor because they get their fees, and it's just like this big cult. And I'm not a big fan of it. I have no problems with realtors. I use realtors every day in my business. But why, if I wanted to be a baker, why would I go get my law license? And that's basically what you're asking a wholesaler to go get their realtor's license. If you think you solve a state statute or law, that's fine. Just make sure you read it, consult an attorney, review it with your title company, and make sure it's a good fit for you, and understand the legal obligations and the ethics that you're going to have to uphold. And it's going to severely hamper your marketing ability as a wholesaler. That isn't even disputed. It's guaranteed fact, because one of the contingencies of being a realtor is you have to tell everybody you're a licensed professional realtor. And here's the funny part is you have to disclose you're a professional realtor even if you've never even done a deal before. So anyways, don't get me started on that. So let's get back to the basics and simplify things. If you know that there's no secret, if you know you don't technically need a license to do it, and you know it doesn't matter how much money or how much money your dad has or your mom has or your aunt does, you got to get back down to the basics. How can we get a deal? So step one's really simple. We have to find motivated sellers. Rick, what do you mean by motivated sellers? Simple. So if you want to learn how to do it, go over to freewholesaling.com. I go in depth on this one. Here's how I can sum it up. Most people that put their house, that want to sell their house, they want to sell their house. It's 100%. Everybody wants to get rid of it if they have a desire to sell the house, right? So the key word here is want. Here's the difference of a motivated seller, really summed up, make it simple. We are looking for the ones that want to sell their house, that need to sell their house. Very few people need to sell their house, but everybody wants to sell it. Do you understand the difference in there? Listen to the words. I want $100 billion in my bank account. I want a six-pack. I want to go back 20 years in life and redo it all. We all want it. That's never a debate. But who needs it? Who needs it? So what type of person would need to sell their house? I got behind on the mortgage payment. I need to move quickly. My renter trashed the house. You have to have some sort of catapulting event. And to be honest with you, I bought houses with no outside event. They just want it done. But here is the qualifying event. They wanted certainty in their life and they want it done right then and there. That is what we call a motivated seller. And that's a person that needs to sell their house. They didn't want to go through 5 realtors. They didn't want to go to the walkthrough. Maybe they don't like realtors. Oh my God, I got my realtor's license. You're telling me I don't like realtors, Rick. Boom, I'm done. I got my realtor's license. This person's not going to sell me their house. So understanding that difference, here's where most wholesalers get it wrong. They try to convert everybody who wants to sell their house, and they think they're going to wind up with a person that needs to sell their house, that type of deal. It ain't going to work. And in anything, it's going to drive you nuts. And now you are a pseudo realtor, because trying to convince people that want to sell their house to sell it for a discounted price, I tell you, there's a lot easier ways in your life to spend your time and make money. And that is a recipe for disaster. How do I know? Because I tried it. It doesn't work. And one of the trends you see all people that are trying to tell you how to do wholesaling is just go straight to the real estate agents. It's the best way to do it. Some truth to that, but the reality is if you're brand new and you don't know the lingo, you haven't had enough experience talking to people, you're going to get yourself in a bind very quickly, because you're not experienced enough to deal with seasoned, experienced realtors. Because what's their goal? To sell the property for top dollar, period. They don't want to hear about an assignment of contract. And here's a little secret. They don't like wholesalers. It's just a proven fact. Why? Because they're taught in real estate school about us. We're bad people, really bad people. We're not. They just don't understand us. Now, I'll be honest with you, some wholesalers treat realtors like garbage, and that's not good for our business, and it gives us all a bad name. If we could find a way to all work together and help each other out, this would be a different story. But the reality is when you go over into realtor land with little to no experience, trying to expect to get a deal of a motivated seller, it's brutal. And that's why we teach you at freewholesaling.com, we teach you how to focus on motivated sellers that need to sell their house and get them off market. Why? Because it's your highest success for chance. Now, here's the catch. It's very painful up front. It's uncomfortable, and you're going to need a tremendous amount of volume. Why are you going to need volume? Think about this for a second. You need volume because you don't have the experience. By going through thousands of sellers, you're going to gain an upper hand on how to talk to sellers, and you're going to become much more confident. Number 2, the quantity is going to give you a chance. So many people think they can make 50 phone calls and get a deal out of it. It's just not the truth. And honestly, if that's your mentality going into wholesaling, you're set up for absolute failure. My other favorite ones, I'm just going to hire a cold caller off the bat. I got all these companies. Who do you think owns all these companies, guys? Deeply experienced wholesalers that teach wholesaling for a living. Why? Because they can make money on the back end. And here's the average lifespan of someone hires a cold caller with no experience. You're going to get a month or 2 into it because you don't know how many calls they need to make, what you're looking for. Are you recording their conversations? Are you feeding them the right list? And so on. So understand it. You have to put in the work. So wholesaling, for full disclosure, is it's all about doing the hard work up front. So here's the secret. I'm going to show you. 21 years, like I'm looking at it 30,000 feet above. If me and Zach teach you how to do the brutal hard work up front, it's going to be painful. It's going to seem tough. And if you put your head in and grind in and do it, you should come out getting a deal. Now, if you get someone who goes, listen, I'll show you how to just chase off MLS. All their phone numbers on there. You don't have to skip trace. You make 30, 40, 50 calls. You're going to get it done. It's going to sound super easy up front, almost too sexy for you. And then you get into it and you get nowhere. So what happens, those programs are designed to take your money and make it seem super simple, but they're brutal. There's a very, very low success rate, as opposed to doing wholesaling the right way. There's no wrong way, but there's an easier way, is do the hard work up front, find the off-market properties of motivated sellers that need to sell their house, and go through the pain and learn how to do it. And when you come out, you get a deal, the light bulb goes in your head. You go, I know how to do this now. And now I'm getting experience talking to people, and now I'm very confident. And that leads you to the next deal, and then as you collect deals and you actually start making a profit and you build your self-confidence, now you can go into some of the paid programs. And the key with the paid program is you have to have experience. Otherwise, you're going to burn through leads and it's going to burn out and you're going to run out of money. And so a wholesaling program from a coach that starts out saying, you got to use this paid service. Why? Because it's easy for them. Because if you spend $5,000, they can put the leads across your desk and then it's up to you if you can convert the lead. And the reality is you probably don't have the confidence and the skill sets to take them all down. So you're always going to be the blame. So the way we do it was we teach it the other way around. And honestly, if you'll go through and make thousands of phone calls, do the stuff we asked you to do, the reverse driving for dollars, pulling the government list, overcoming resistance with persistence we teach on the list, man, by the time you get to the paid list, it's like a piece of cake. So there's no shortcut in wholesaling. If you can pay somebody $100,000, you are going to have to go through all the pain everyone else has to go through. The question is, can you endure it? And the overwhelming majority is 95% of coaches fail and they always blame the student. And sometimes it is the student's fault, but the reality is they were set up for a program that was never, ever going to make it work for them. It was 100% set up for the coach to make work. And I'm a strong advocate of working with motivated sellers, getting the right list and putting in the time. And if you ask me, Rick, how many phone calls I have to make before I get a deal? You're probably in trouble. I'm just telling you. Some people can do it one call, some take 10,000. Depends on your market. It depends on the time of year. It depends greatly on your list, and it depends mostly on your work ethic and your attitude and your unwavering commitment to say, I'm never getting up and I'm going to make this happen. So number one, we got to find motivated sellers. I'm almost done, guys, and we'll get into the lives, I promise. Okay. Then we get into the lists, and you have two choices in lists. Obviously, we all know about the paid list. You guys know, I use batch and prop stream both. I've been doing this 21 years. You don't have to start out doing it. But if you don't have a lot of time, it is a good service to do, and I'll show you how to use it. It's real simple. Actually, we teach you how to use it in freewholesaling.com, and you can get a trial 7-day period. I'll show you how to get it at listrei.com. That's simple, easy. Now, the free lists is where I want you to start. Why? Because I love to test people. Because if you think it's hard just getting the list, that's just the start one. Remember, I told you it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to fall. It doesn't hurt you. It just feels uncomfortable. You know why it feels uncomfortable? Because you've been doing the same old thing at your old job or your old life, and you're trying to take that mindset and put it in the wholesaling, and it doesn't work. Think about it. If that attitude, that work ethic stuff didn't get you what you want, why do you think it's going to work in wholesaling? That's why it feels so uncomfortable. Here's the secret I found over years as I've become wildly successful is success requires you to become wildly uncomfortable. And I use the word wildly because if you can't deviate from that difference, it means you're not going to change. I promise you, becoming a wholesaler is going to physically change you, and it's for the better, because you're going to have to step up and do things that you didn't know how to do, which is a big part of us. But now that I'm going to tell you how to do it, some of you are like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. And so if you won't do a government list, I don't even have to worry about doing wholesaling, because in my opinion, that's the easiest part of the job. Now, we talk about our earn list, the list you got to go out. You got to go get the probate. You got to get the water shutoffs. You got to get the fire damage properties. You got to get the code violations. You're not the only person chasing those lists. So you're going to have to be creative. You're going to have tenacity. And to overcome resistance, you're going to have to beat it with persistence. If you can get through that fire, we just keep moving through the journey. Now, the people that work best with me is exactly like, okay, I'm going to go get that list. And they go, Rick, my God, you were right. They beat me up about it. And they wanted me to meet with a lawyer, want to do this. I'm like, okay, what'd you do? He's like, I kind of froze. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, well, let's regroup. And I just say, we got to keep moving forward. You got a roadblock in front of you. Do you want to quit or do you want to go forward? Most people in reality in their old job, they just quit. It's just statistically proven people quit. That's what I'm talking about, why wholesaling is so different. I've already talked about paid list to free list. I always focus on the free list with you. It has nothing to do with money. So many people are like, oh, the free list. It's not about the word free. It's about, are you going to put in the work to go actually get it? To get that list, very few people have, and the list that gives you an advantage to find motivated sellers over anyone else. If it takes you a week or 2 weeks to get the list, are you persistent enough to get it? If you get the list, wholesaling is going to be fun. If you struggle with the list, you're probably not going to go very far. And I can tell you the truth here because I don't have a massive paid coaching course. I just tell you how it is. By the way, I give absolutely everything for free. For over 3 years, I've given you everything for free. I haven't changed anything. I've just added more options for you guys. That's it. Everything's always going to be free. I want everyone, regardless of their financial situation, to go out and get a wholesale deal. Not only that, earn up to $100,000 minimum. I've never changed that. That's why I always did that first. And I want you to understand that. Next thing is so once we have our lists, we pick our marketing medium. I'm not going to go in like all the details of it. There's so many free ways to do it. I like cold calling because you don't have to get in a car. You can make thousands of calls. Yes, you can use dialers. I'm not going to get into all that today, but the idea is get your contracts, get them locked up. And then on step 3, simplify it. Sell that contract to a cash buyer for an assignment fee. Yes, an assignment fee. Here's the secret, guys. True wholesaling is you're selling your contract. You are not selling the property. The contract is the key to the property. And most cash buyers want to look at it, but we sell the contract. You can't go outside those terms. And if you send out a mass email list with all pictures and stuff, you are now in realtor land. And what comes to you, you kind of deserved it because someone taught you to do it the wrong way. It's just the truth. Step 4, just pick up your check. Honestly, you get a wire, but sometimes we get checks. It doesn't matter as long as it's going in your bank account. And the idea is just repeat it over and over. And here's the truth. Anything that gets in your way of everything I just said to you, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's killing you in wholesaling, period. If you are constantly being distracted by this and that, you are not going out and getting the correct list, finding motivated sellers, writing contracts, and getting them sold to your cash buyers. Everything else is a human distraction. Here's the secret, guys. Other than a cell phone, maybe a computer, or honestly, not even a computer, access to the internet, you go to a library and do this business. Those are the only required tools in this business. Everything else is optional. Everything is, okay, I want to do it faster. Okay. Here's a paid service where you can do this. It's $100 a month. It'll make it a lot easier. Okay. How do I get skip traces for the best price? I don't know. Because guys, I only focus on wholesaling. I do not go out and build software products and tie my time up on how can I make money off wholesalers. And I have no problem. As long as you're providing value to the world, knock yourself out. Just understand you're going to compete with the big boys. I like to use highly big, reputable companies that have customer service reps and I can trust with my credit card. And that's why we use the companies that we recommend. So, and here's what I see. A lot of you guys are like this. Rick, I got to put the perfect offer together. No such thing as a perfect offer. You're wasting your time. The reality is you have to talk to people, you have to connect with them, you got to build massive amount of rapport, and then you got to kind of play with them. And that's what we call a negotiate. There's no perfect offer. So many people in wholesaling try to write the perfect offer so they can just get a yes. And it's ridiculous. I actually do it the opposite way. And I can show you how to do it. If you think you're going to write the perfect offer like a realtor does and try to get a yes or a simple like 5% counter, I am not the guy for you. You're wasting your time on those. Remember, I'm only looking for people that need to sell their house. The ones that want, they immediately go to realtor, or I get a marketing fee, or I put them with the right person. Because I want to help people. And I'm only looking for a certain type of property. And then all people are like, hey, Rick, what's the secret to like your marketing list? Which one should I do? I share it all. There is no secret. Remember, I told you, if there's no secret, then don't go find it. Because I promise you, someone's always going to sell you the secret, and you have to understand that. And guys, here's the simple part. It's all free at freewholesaling.com. Just go over there. It's all there. It will always be there. It's never going to change. I've done this for 3 years. I've put it out there and I haven't changed it, and it's set in stone. And here's the best part is me and Zach constantly add to it. I'll never take away. I just add to it. And I'm here to tell you, go over there and take advantage of it. So all you have to do is put in your email and then you set, and then you go through it. And the course is really designed to where you watch a video, you download a contract, you watch instructions on how to do detailed instructions, then you go out and take action. And then you come back and report. And you usually get good information, bad information. And guess what? I tell you to do it again until you get it right. And eventually it gets burnt so in your brain and your nervous system that you figure it out and you keep going on. Most wholesaling courses, you have to understand that you have to have that level of implementation for it to register with you. And honestly, a lot of people buy wholesaling courses and do nothing. And there's nothing anyone can do to protect that type of person. Just don't be that person. So if you go there, treat it like a $10,000 course I sold you, wink, wink, and put your energy into it. Understanding there's no shortcut, there's no secret. Rick told me I'm gonna have to get wildly uncomfortable, make this work. It's not gonna hurt me. It's just, I'm gonna have to stretch my mind and how I operate, and then I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna take action. So don't read it all the way to the end because you'll be watching it for a few months because it's the deepest, most thorough content out there. Go out, We start with the marketing, getting your list. Go get your list and then go out there and contact these sellers. And honestly, the more you do it and the higher your quantity, the more you're going to learn, the more confident you're going to come, and your better odds of getting a deal. So remember, I'm going to make it tough up front because I know the truth and how this game works. Wholesaling is tough. You get resistance up front and it seems hard, but once you find that right seller, it's super easy to sell. A lot of the courses out there, they want to say, hey, just go to MLS, just reach out to agents. It's real simple. The last thing I ever want you to do as a brand new wholesaler is to reach out to agents day one. You don't know the verbiage, you don't have enough experience, and these people don't want to work with you. And you're going to find this out real quickly. And what seems super easy, all the data there, it just doesn't go anywhere. And I've watched people go 6, 7 months a year and like, Rick, I didn't get anywhere. I just tell you, go over to freewholesaling.com. I tell you exactly how to do it. You can't skip uncomfortable, especially wildly uncomfortable. There is no shortcut. There is no secret. There is no hack. That is my big reveal today. And I want you to understand that. So go over to freewholesaling.com and that's it.